senior Alex Carr. And now, Jaden Jackson. Today, Jaden Jackson makes his final appearance at the UCCU Center. Jaden is one of the top three-point shooters in UVU history. He broke the all-time single-game record for threes as he knocked down 9 three-pointers in the win over Rio Grande Valley on January 9th. Jaden hit an amazing 9 out of 12 three-pointers that night, the fourth best mark in UVU single-game history. He scored a career-high 31 points, with a career-high 11 made field goals in that record-breaking win over UTRGV. Jaden has scored in double figures 22 times this season and has scored 20 or more points in 5 games this year. The senior bull has a career-high 8 rebounds against New Mexico State and dished out a career-high 5 assists twice this season. Jaden ranks 10th all-time at UVU with 522 field goal attempts. His 14.3 points a game average this season ranks 9th all-time in a single UVU season. His 143 made field goals this year is the 8th best mark in UVU single-season history. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Jaden Jackson. And finally, please welcome Marcel Davis. Marcel Davis steps onto the UCCU Center floor for the final time today. He has rewritten the UVU career record books as he ranks in the top 8 in 4 different UVU statistical categories. Marcel is the all-time UVU leader in assists per game with a 4.5 career average. His 263 assists ranks 3rd all-time here at UVU. He also ranks 6th on the UVU career charts in steals per game and 8th in made free throws. His 140 assists this year are the most ever recorded in a single season at Utah Valley. Marcel enters his final game with the Wolverines with 645 points, 266 rebounds, 263 assists, and 56 steals. Marcel scored a career-high 28 points with a career-high 11 made field goals against Southern Utah on December 5th. His 9 assists against UC Davis and UTRGV this season ranked 5th all-time at UVU on the single-game assist chart. Marcel has scored in double figures in 20 games this season, recording 2 double-doubles, and has toyed with a triple-double multiple times. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Marcel Davis. All right, how about one more round of applause for these 5 wonderful senior athletes.
You are watching the American Sports Network.
The highest RPI in the WAC belongs to Grand Canyon today. They're in Orem, Utah, on campus at Utah Valley University. It's Senior Day on the American Sports Network. Under the watchful eye of snow-capped mountain on the banks of the Great Salt Lake, we are on campus at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, and Grand Canyon makes their journey from Phoenix, Arizona. They do so as one of the great mid-major stories, all the action on the American Sports Network. Hi, folks. Welcome back on campus. Former coach Rich Savosic. My name is Darren Sutton. We trust you've had a great weekend. Now, Grand Canyon is not your dad's mid-major program. They are progressive. They are unique. They have home games next year, home games against Louisville and San Diego State. They will go to Duke. Head coach Dan Marley leading the charge, but they are a fast-moving bunch.
This program is growing by leaps and bounds. Not eligible for the NCAA tournament for 2 more seasons. However, they'll play in the College Insider Tournament, so the guys will get some postseason experience, and they have created the culture for the program of the future. These 2 coaches, Mark Pope, Dan Marley, rising stars in the profession. Coaches talk about, let's play fast-paced. These guys put it into action. Both teams averaging over 70 points a game. First game, 99-88. Look for fireworks today.
So we'll get to see some offense from guys like Josh Braun. We'll start with him, and then Marcel Davis. Braun, good in the classroom, too.
He is a terrific young man, as you say, off and on the court. Recently named Academic All-American. Finally fully healthy after 4 knee surgeries. He is having an unbelievable sophomore campaign. He can beat you outside with the long ball, averages over 2 threes a game, and also can draw fouls. In the first game, 17 and 19 from the foul line. Beats you in a lot of different ways. On the flip side, senior Marcel Davis, the heart and soul of this program, of the creating the culture for the Wolverines. He does it in so many different ways, but he's saving his best for last, averaging over 16 points a game, over 6 rebounds, and over 6 assists in the last 6 games. He just doesn't want his season to end, just not yet.
Davis had 17 against Grand Canyon when they met. GCU won in the first matchup. And by the way, for the big scoring, Josh Braun lit up with 34 points, UVU. So we're glad to have all of you with us and enjoy this college basketball action today. Again, Grand Canyon, a very unique program in this WAC conference. As we get teed up for the WAC conference tournament coming up in Las Vegas, Nevada, Grand Canyon gets set to play in postseason. Not eligible yet for their conference tournament. All the action coming up right around the corner, starting lineups as well on the American Sports Network. Lights are out. It's a great atmosphere on this senior day. Certainly, as the 5 seniors, we will point them out to you throughout the telecast, being honored. Coach Z and I certainly glad to have you back with us. Coach, let's talk about your keys to the game. Obviously, everyone would consider Grand Canyon the prohibitive favorite in this game, but not so fast as we take a look at both sides of Z's keys.
The great equalizer, the 3 ball, is in Utah Valley's favor. Pace, pace, extra pass. That's what they want to do. They want to push it, and they want to shoot the 3. The extra pass means that it gives them good 3-point shooting percentage, 38% on the year. And then rebound Gangnam style. They're giving up a size advantage to Grand Canyon, so they must find 5 bodies every time the shots go up.
Take a look at the starting lineup for both of these squads. Love watching Dwayne Russell play point guard. He has gone over 1,000 points. He truly is the eyes and ears for head coach Dan Marley. Watched them communicate yesterday. We've talked about Josh Braun. You like transfer Grandy Glaze, don't you?
Oh, he's part of the Smash Brothers. How can you not like a guy who's nicknamed Smash Brothers? And that's how he plays, very physical.
On the other side, Connor Fry, a walk-on that's the heart and soul of UVU's program.
The best walk-on in college basketball since Jeff Hornacek. How's that for Utah Jazz fans? Hornacek was a walk-on at Iowa State. Connor Fry, again, playing his best basketball the last 2 games.
Both of these coaches certainly with unique experience along the way. Mark Pope at UVU, was part of a national championship winning team when he played at Kentucky under Rick Pitino. And of course, for Grand Canyon, Dan Marley, the head coach, who with a very successful career as an NBA player. He's an Olympian, a 3-time All-Star. A lot going on here on Senior Day. The Harley rides off the floor, and a lot of fun, a lot of good energy here. Glad to have all of you with us at Utah Valley University. Again, Grand Canyon, a team that 24-6 on the year. This is a team that's 8-4 away. It's not supposed to happen that way in college basketball to win that much away from home.
Let's put it in perspective, Darren. If they were eligible for the NCAA tournament, they would be talked about as an at-large team if they didn't win their conference tournament. That's how good Grand Canyon is.
Which is, again, for those that may be casual fans, that's rare, extremely rare for a mid-major, correct?
It is, because you very rarely get an opportunity to beat the big boys at home. But as you say, they have been phenomenal on the road, although they have dropped their last 2 road games, albeit the last one to St. Mary's.
Bakersfield and St. Mary's. Let's play some college basketball. Coach Z and I, glad to have you with us. In the white uniforms, Utah Valley University, the Wolverines. In the black uniforms, Grand Canyon, the Lopes they call them in the Phoenix area, the Antelopes. Fabulous student body support here today. They are used to that as slicing and dicing Marcel Davis, the senior out of American Fork, Utah.
Darren, you mentioned prohibitive favorites to win Grand Canyon, but strange things happen on senior nights, magical things, and that's what we're looking at with Marcel Davis.
Wayne Russell handles the offense, number 0 on that black jersey, the point guard. Turnover for GCU, back the other way. Jaden Jackson all the way off the glass, a little firm. Fry is there. Connor Fry unable with that second chance. And again, a turnover. Long 3 for Fry, firm, and a miss. Utah Valley 12-16, 6-7 in conference play, 7-6 at home. A lot of injuries this year. They've leaned on walk-ons. Walk-ons have delivered a great play stripped by Alex Carr. Carr back the other side. Bang! He strips it. He causes a turnover and a triple to follow.
As I said, magical things. 9 of 34 from the three-point line coming in. That's number 10.
Mark Pope loves his team at UVU. They play fast, they play aggressive. A floater. It rattles home for Dwayne Russell, the redshirt junior out of Peoria, Arizona. Also went to Peoria High School, transferred from Northern Arizona, and really, as we said earlier, is kind of an assistant coach, if you will, for head coach Dan Marley. Beautiful feed over the shoulder. Davis finds Carr.
Keep an eye on that matchup. Russell, Davis, 2 of the best point guards in this conference.
Davis not afraid to penetrate. Neither is Russell, and that's why things opened up there a moment ago. More than 2 minutes have disappeared. The home squad, UVU, with an early lead. We expect a big afternoon for Joshua Braun. He's been quiet. There's his first pair.
So versatile. Undersized post, but knows how to score.
Hey, you talk about scoring for Braun. He's a sophomore. That's 875 career points with that 2 right there. 875. 1,000 is a good career in 4 years.
A lot of people think he was too small. Then he gets hurt. But he is so crafty around the basket. He can score over bigger players, as you saw on that last possession.
Fouls on Grand Canyon's Gerard Martin, his first team foul, the freshman out of Australia. And maybe the heir apparent to be the point guard in the future. And Dwayne Russell is on his way.
If you're an Antelope fan, you know, or maybe you haven't heard, Russell was just granted an extra year of eligibility this past week, and he'll be reclassified. He'll stay as a junior this year, so he's got 2 more.
That's exciting news, and the foul is on number 0, Russell. Second team foul, first personal on Dwayne. Utah Valley has challenged themselves scheduling-wise this year. They went to BYU, which is about 15 minutes away. Penetrating and going to the line, that's Connor Fry. And they got Grandy Clays with that foul. Third personal, first team foul.
Davis, again, draws the defense, and when that happens, you are now forced to make an emergency play. A block shot attempt, a foul.
Fry, a junior, a walk-on, an older junior. Had a 2-year mission to Singapore. Very fluent in Mandarin, international business major. His 2-year LDS mission, you know, you think about players that take on those missions and then they rejoin their program. There's a sense of maturity. They may be rusty, but boy, they're leaders.
They really are. Physically mature, mentally, spiritually.
So far, so good for UVU. Grand Canyon really get things going on the road, as you mentioned. Both of those losses to Bakersfield and St. Mary's on the road. Very aggressive, hard practice yesterday in Phoenix. Had a chance to stop by and watch Coach Marley do his thing. Long 3, shot clock disappearing. It's short. There's a second chance, and that's fought by Vernon. Into the corner, nowhere close. The miss by Gerard Martin. Deonta Vernon missed the 3. He's a 52% three-point shooter. And back on the other side, Davis Marcel with the miss. Grand Canyon went to Louisville this year. That's a common opponent for these two teams. Both of them handled pretty mightily by Louisville.
Darren, that's a terrific box out right there. All 5 guys found a green jersey. And you look at Alex Carr, 6'3". He's battling guys 4 inches bigger. He's the 5-man today at 6'3". Outstanding job on that last possession.
Jaden Jackson has some bounce. Number 2 in that white jersey had the ball in his hands a moment ago. Davis all the way. Can't get the roll. A defensive rebound. Alex Carr has been active grabbing rebounds. That's his second. An interesting physical specimen. He'll go to the line with a chance to turn it into a 3-point play. The senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. Fighting his way through. Vernon with the bucket. And GCU clawing their way back. That's one viewer. At least we got one viewer. We got ratings. We got an official rating.
It's only have one viewer because of you, not me.
I just knew this would get picked up locally. Thank you. Head coach Dan Marley, 56-36 at the helm of this Grand Canyon program. Spent nearly 5 years as an assistant coach for the Suns in the NBA. Don't forget the American Sports Network coming up tomorrow. The Temple Owls are on the road at Tulane. They take on the Green Wave in beautiful New Orleans, 2 o'clock Eastern. Again, college basketball rolls right into tournament time on the American Sports Network.
Fran Dunphy at Temple, picking up where John Chaney left off, keeping the Owls in the top 20.
Deonta Vernon completes the 3-point play, the sophomore out of Tulare Union High School in California. Talking about his size and his physique earlier. Very athletic, 6'6", but plays at about 240. Right now working defensively. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Davis fighting. Holds onto it. Long pass up top. Rings in and out the effort. A triple by Corey Cardwell on this senior day. A senior with a miss and trying just a little bit too hard. Fry with a foul, his first.
Darren, even though they didn't convert on that possession, their spacing right now is very, very good, making it hard for help side defense.
Tell me about the Wolverines defense for Coach Pope. What do you look for?
Well, they're going to swarm it. As you can see right there, everybody going to the baseline.
Ivory Young fires it into the corner, clearing himself, and missing the three again was Cardwell. Well, they backed you right up with that swarm and forcing the turnover. Nothing they could do there. That's Grandy Glaze. He's a graduate student out of Toronto, Ontario. St. Louis for a bit, played there, didn't contribute like he's been able to contribute, especially lately.
He has really been on fire. 5 double-doubles in his last 7 games. The other half of the Smash Brothers with Vernon.
We'll hear from Coach Marley at halftime, a conversation. I basically put my feet into the shoes of a recruit. Now, I don't have that kind of athletic skill set, but hey, sell me on your mid-major program, I asked him. I'm a local kid, a talented Arizona kid, and it's an intriguing interview how he talks about with pride his program. Long and illustrious NBA and international career.
Oh, I tell you, if you're a recruit, it's like E.F. Hutton. When Dan Marley talks, people listen. And the things that he can do and he has experienced in his career as a player internationally, college, you're going to see over the back. Good box out by Grand Canyon, by Vernon.
Deion Goodman whistled for that foul, his first personal, 3rd team foul, 4 team fouls on GCU. Errant pass nowhere close. Marcel Davis takes it away. Young, basketball in his hands, firm on the three-point attempt. They're keeping an eye on the paint, really keeping an eye on the rebounding efforts by both these teams.
Look at the denial of the wing. Mark Pope talked about that in pregame. Take away the first pass. Excellent job by Cardwell, forces the turnover.
Utah Valley 0 for their last 6 from the floor. And 2 of their last 9. I get the feeling this is going to be a fairly tightly officiated game. D.G. Nelson, Kurt Walker, Scott DeBow are officials.
You go back to that first game, and a lot of free throws. 40 attempted by Grand Canyon, 33 by Utah Valley, so could be set for the same thing today, right?
It's a tight one, Coach. They're really calling it. Foul a moment ago was on Cardwell for UVU, his first.
And this is where players have to adjust. The officials aren't going to change. They've laid the ground rules. Now you have to change to them.
Wraparound pass into the hands and a step back, and a good look there, penetrating Braun. And he found Matt Jackson, the Australian native, the sophomore. Jackson averaging about 6 points a game. Diamond Valley High School had 13 and 5 rebounds against UVU in that last matchup. There's a lid on the bucket for Ivory Young. He comes up empty again. He's so athletic, number 13 in white.
He hit that big 3 the other night against Seattle.
Tried to keep it alive, UVU ball. Jackson with the miss. Grand Canyon University, an exploding campus. The president, Brian Mueller, has been on the scene since 2008. They've spent $600 million since he took over. $200 million more in the next 3 years, growing their campus, growing their athletic facilities, their technologies, laboratories, student amenities. Marley will talk about that at the halftime interview. And a whistle, they got Fry with a foul there.
He's what you would call a visionary. And he understands the importance of college athletics. And on the drive, the contact is made. Good job by Vernon to create the contact, draw the foul.
It's a growing student base for GCU, certainly, but the athletics and the support of athletics, a big heartbeat of that campus. First free throw is good. Vernon averaging 7 points. He's a 52% free throw shooter. He was a heck of a high schooler. Nearly 1,800 career points a sophomore, as we mentioned at Union High School.
Darren, we talked about Grand Canyon and their emergence. And Utah Valley's not that far removed from being a junior college. And Dick Hunsaker set a good foundation in the transition to Division I, and now Mark Pope is building on it.
Vernon swipes it, tries to go all the way over his shoulder. He does. Steal and a pair. Deonta Vernon, the exercise science major. He grabs a ton of offensive rebounds. He's just a physical player. Grand Canyon 6-point lead on the road. 5. Gave it up to Jaden Jackson, the senior. Boy, he's a special shooter, averaging 14 points a game. Tried to thread the needle, unable to do so. Grand Canyon with the break ends up with the basketball again. Ryan Marley, the nephew of the head coach, is on. He's been hot lately. His last 5 games, 12 points a game. Like Uncle Dan, he can be a dangerous three-point shooter. Missed by Russell. Wolverines come back the other way. Davis. Got it! Marcel Davis, the senior. Edging closer to 1,000 points. Well, they needed that. 2 of their last 10 from the floor, trying to find their way. Grand Canyon on the road, imposing their will. Look, we can't play in the conference tournament. We'll send a message on our way out of the regular season. He's a funny player. He's funky looking. He's like a bouncy tight end. Yeah. Like a four-man. Well, I don't want to go too far. Kind of a four-man. Thank you. Yeah, you want to do Pope, or what do you want to love on him, or do you have any video you like?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Pope. Talking Grand Canyon.
Oh, I'm going to be all over him, so you got to keep me honest. Just because I know him all so well.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's true.
Great Saturday college basketball atmosphere heading into tournament weekend. Mark Pope knows what tournament weekend is all about. He played at Kentucky. He was a national champ in '96. His first year as a head coach. Your thoughts on his emergence?
He had an interesting comment when I asked him about his first year. He says, I think so much more now as a head coach than I did as an assistant. I think more than I do in the sense that I'm worried about everything in the program. New plays, recruits, defense. And it's a totally different feeling because you can never turn that part of the game off. And it was interesting to watch his shoot-around today. I saw the pre-med student in him as he used the Socratic method of teaching, as he would ask each player, okay, what does this guy do? What do you do on that cut? And it was, I felt like I was back in the classroom. Terrific teacher.
Great call by you. 3 years at Columbia University. There's brains inside of that short haircut at Columbia in medical school.
Well, I hate to say this. Some would say he went into coaching. How much brains? But the key is he's doing what he loves. And the kids feel that, the passion for the game that he has. And I tell you, he's got 3 guys sitting out. So this is a team that is built for the future.
Beautiful step back. Joshua Braun wasn't even squared up when he drained that triple.
How about the future right there?
Braun's got 5 points, 2 of 2 from the floor. His first 3, has a rebound and an assist. Again, Braun, last 3 games, just 16 total points, 16 total, and 2 of 16 from 3. They've kept him locked pretty tight. Ryan Marley whistled for that foul. First personal.
We've talked so much about Marcel Davis on the offensive end, but defensively has done an outstanding job. And there's the directive that we saw at the very beginning of the year. You bump a cutter, you bump a dribbler, it's an automatic call.
11 minutes to go here in the first half. Coach Z and I, glad to have you with us. We hope you're having a great Saturday afternoon. Young penetrates, long skip pass into the corner. Shank feeds Jackson. What a pretty look that was. Jaden Jackson converts. Hayden Shank's a freshman, and he has had some big moments. Averages just 2 assists per game. He is not afraid to have the ball in his hands, and right there, he was a great job of the defensive mass. Young, again, that lid is on there for Ivory, averaging 9 points a game.
Darren, how about this offensive scheme? It's called open. Space the floor, throw it to the open man. If you're overplayed, go back door. Well diagrammed, well executed.
By the way, welcome to the bonus. We told you they were calling it tight. Foul on Martin, his 3rd. So Martin, an important part of the Grand Canyon approach, will sit for a while now. First free throw good by Shank. We were talking about the redshirt freshman out of Eden, Utah, Weber High School. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and a tough environment to play in Phoenix at GCU. Went a perfect 8 of 8 in that game from the line. Now, it was a loss. Grand Canyon won that game, but Shank didn't shiver at all.
Well, these are 2 teams that shoot free throws very well, so nobody gets an advantage in that area.
Grand Canyon 70%, Utah Valley 73%, a GCU turnover. 5 turnovers already for Grand Canyon, a pair for Utah Valley. Active outside of the 3-point line until Jackson looks for an angle, couldn't find it. Interesting there, Marley managed to grab the ball and keep it in his possession by banging it off the back of the head of Jaden Jackson. Did you see it that way?
And Jackson's looking around like, why is it their ball? Well, it went off your head.
That's kind of a playground move, right?
Very good play by Marley.
Another turnover.
Atypical of GCU is they usually are very good at taking care of the basketball.
Okay, tell us something about numbers. Team assist to turnover of 1.24. Pretty good, right, for a team?
That is very good. It is very good. And, you know, when you look at your point guard, love to have at least a 2-to-1. Dwayne Russell, almost 2.5-to-1. So it starts at the head. It starts with your point guard.
I've always wondered as Davis finds Goodman. Goodman comes up short. Dayon Goodman, a sophomore, averages 6 points a game out of Kearns High School, Salt Lake City native. Braun, offensive foul. Shank stepped in there. Johnny on the spot again. First foul, by the way, on Joshua Braun.
In transition, Shank hustles back. Good job, takes it full in the chest. That's a brave man because Braun's a big guy.
Offensive foul.
And Goodman knew it. The look on his face, he felt like, oops, got my hand caught in the cookie jar.
Dayon whistled for that one. His first personal. 6 team fouls, so now both of these teams into the bonus at the 9-minute mark will be shooting. And a step in right there by the freshman Schenk. So it'll be 1-1. So here's a quick question I was going to ask you a moment ago. So team's turning it over more than you like, right? You're coaching. How do you change in-game a team that's giving the ball away too much? What do you tell your kids?
The first thing you do is you look down the bench and say, okay, let's try somebody else.
Got it.
And if that doesn't work, then it's just let's slow it down, because most turnovers happen because you're going too fast for conditions. And that's what Utah Valley wants you to do. They move so hard on the offensive end. All of a sudden, you get it back, and you try and move that fast as well.
So substitute and slow it down. There's that strength again, and another shot at a three-point play by Keonta Vernon. That's his second time we've seen him just bowl his way through.
He's got the body of a bulldozer, but the finesse of a ballerina. Watch the finish here. It's terrific body balance.
He's part of a big win, and look, kind of a shocking win for Grand Canyon at San Diego State. He had 16 points. He had 11 rebounds. Comes up short. Look at Braun fight for the second chance. Wow. Those are game-changing moments right there. Joshua Braun, rebound and a bucket.
The Achilles heel for the Wolverines.
Jackson from Schenk. That's twice those two have worked together in the last few minutes. (22-20). Jackson has 6 points. Schenk has a pair of assists. Braun hit hard, somehow decided to shoot it anyway and converts. Looked like he banged right into a brick wall, and as he fell backwards, decided to go ahead and take a shot at it. He's got 7 points. Vernon's got 9. Not shooting the basketball, though there was a bucket. Another foul on the floor. They're calling it tight. This is the fun one so far. Utah Valley, one of their last 5 from the floor. GCU, a perfect 3 for 3.
Oh, I love the green men.
Are you good? You happy? You have space?
Good. Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? I haven't stepped on you yet, have I?
Oh, no. Don't worry about me. Just tell me to zip it if I'm talking too much. Like I always say, all the things I see, anyone can look up on the internet. All the things you say, I could never say.
You don't know about that.
Well, you get what I mean. I couldn't do that. I know that. I couldn't break dance. Thank you.
Yeah, the green men coming back.
Do.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for these fine organizations.
The UCCU, the Utah Community Credit Union Center, on campus in Orem, Utah. When it is full to capacity, seats about 8,000. They've had some great concerts here over the years. And as we talked about earlier, this is a school that has moved divisions quickly from a junior college all the way up to Division I. And an exploding student body similar to that of Grand Canyon's.
Saw a shot at Jaden Jackson there. There's some seniors who will leave Utah Valley with some records. Jaden Jackson, 9 threes in a game. The school record. Marcel Davis at the line, the single season assist record. So these guys have not only helped lay the foundation for the future of Mark Pope's program, but they will also walk away in the record books.
It's got to be hard. Come into a program, have your philosophies, and a whole bunch of players that are about to leave and play one more year, and you're their coach.
And Mark told me an interesting thing earlier today, that he is so proud of these guys, especially the seniors, who have come in and laid the foundation of hustle. They may not be the most talented group, except for Carr, who is playing lights out today. But they have set that work ethic in place. And they've got 3 very talented players sitting out and have learned from that, as we see Josh Braun answer.
Braun's got 9 because the coach who recruited you is no longer here. And you're finishing up your career. You have a brand new coach who certainly is going to have strong philosophies. And especially with how he has earned the right to get here at a traveling violation with all of his extensive assistant coaching experience with BYU, Wake Forest, Georgia, playing in the NBA.
And his style of play, his philosophy is much different than Dick Hunsaker. Dick Hunsaker was a phenomenal coach, a great tactician. But his philosophy, much different than Mark Pope's. Mark Pope is let's push, 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 pace, pace, extra pass.
Stripped away. That swarm defense pays off for the Wolverines. Love watching Ivory Young, I should say, when he has the basketball in his hands. 13 atop the screen with the white headband. Stepping back, long 3. There's a miss. Braun firmly grabs that rebound. But Ivory Young, a very bouncy athlete, can shoot from outside, can penetrate as well. Braun will go to the line. So you said it coming on the air. Congratulations to Josh Braun, and it's quite an accomplishment. First team academic All-American. He shows the muscles there, not the brains, but a 3.83 GPA business management, the first ever team selection of a first teamer in men's basketball in GCU history.
He's only a sophomore. That's the scary part about it, Darren.
Iowa's Gerard Uthoff, Marcus Page of North Carolina, Siobhan Shields of Nebraska, and Canyon Berry of College of Charleston. Those are the other 4. And that means an awful lot to your head coach, like Dan Marley, to your entire student body. Again, that's not a long list. That's first team. That's all Division I players in that pool.
It's a special honor, and it just shows you the type of student athletes that Dan Marley is bringing into this program.
Braun is being heard from, isn't he?
He certainly is. He can score in bunches.
He's got 13 points. You knew it would be a big day. He has struggled his last couple of games, last 3 to be specific. GCU leading it by 3. Carr, the feed from Davis. Carr out of Birmingham, Alabama's minor high school, Wabash Valley College. That's a pretty stroke there. Matt Jackson, Australian native, business management major. Part of the International Australian Federation, U17 World Championship team. He just can't find his way. He cannot get it to go young today. He's 0 of 5 from the floor. In the corner, there's an answer, though, by Dwayne Russell, a triple.
Grand Canyon's starting to take better care of the basketball and heating up.
Russell, a 44% three-point shooter. There's a lot of nonverbal communication between Dwayne Russell and Dan Marley at their workout yesterday. A lot of quick looks, a lot of back and forth. You can tell that he trusts his point guard to really be a coach on the floor. Firm off the mark. Trying to hustle after it. Marley can't come up with it. Davis from Young. A 3. And he's got 10 points. There's some offense in this one. There was some offense the last time these two teams met.
They push the ball up the floor every opportunity they get, and that's the Mark Pope philosophy. In that last possession, you have numbers in transition. in the old days, and I reference the old days, back when I coached, you're going right to the basket when it's 3-on-2. But the new wave, the new era coaches, let's space the floor in transition and shoot that wide open three. Give your players some freedom to excel on the perimeter. Marcel Davis taking advantage.
Davis had 17 points in Phoenix at Grand Canyon when these two teams met earlier in the year. Marcel was called earlier this season by Mark Pope the player who is embracing my coaching philosophy the best. And that's what you were speaking of earlier. Got to have advocates for it to work, and they have to be seniors.
And the two things he does, he runs the floor with or without the basketball. Just cuts and moves so hard.
Speaking of cutting and moving, there he is again. Braun went down pretty hard. See if he is all right as he works his way back up. He'll go to the line with a couple of free throws. That knee that hit the ground hard, I don't know if he rolled an ankle. Let's see.
Well, he worked so hard without the basketball to set it up, and I think he came down and banged his knee on the floor.
There's that jersey in his mouth, just chewing on it, almost as if it's a bite the bullet type situation.
He's as tough as they come, though, Darren. When you talk about a high school career that was cut short because he tore his ACL in one knee, he rehabs that, then he tears the ACL in his other. Then he comes to Grand Canyon and re-tears the ACL. Most players would have just decided to hang it up, but he has worked, repaired both knees, and he has become an unbelievable player.
Speaking of unbelievable players, there's one. Jaden Jackson cleared himself for a three. And he's got 9. 4 of 8 from the floor. 5 of 13 from long distance for Utah Valley. Just took a look and decided to take it himself. Russell.
He just does what his team needs to have done to win.
What a compliment. What a compliment from a coach. You know, when I hear you say that, it sounds simplistic, but that's everything.
I mean, he doesn't force things. He takes it what's given. He facilitates. A true coach's player on the floor.
Talking about redshirt junior Dwayne Russell, Dan Marley's Grand Canyon squad. Lots of whistles.
Still kind of a fast first half.
It still is, yeah. Well, from like what you were saying, it seems like they're kind of adapting. They go into timeouts. All right, just.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Senior day on campus, Corey Cardwell, Alex Carr, Marcel Davis, Darius Hamilton, and Jaden Jackson all honored. And those handful of players, you throw onto that graphic a very talented walk-on junior in Connor Fry. Great atmosphere today.
It certainly is, and Jackson with 9, Davis with 10, but Alex Carr with 10 already. And he's a young man who only averages 1 point a game.
Vernon whistled for that foul. We are now at the double bonus, so Schenk will shoot a pair. Coach Z, Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us on campus in Orem, Utah. About 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City. The banks of the Great Salt Lake. Snow-capped mountains all around us thus far as we head into March.
Darren, this is a team that you don't want to put into the bonus. Schenk an 83% shooter. I love the move by Braun. Overplayed, go back door.
Well, he is having a heck of a contest. Russell takes that one away, and just a couple of quick buckets back-to-back. Braun with 17, Russell now with 10. And by the way, don't forget that Russell assisted Dwayne did on that one a moment ago. Bing, bang, boom, it's a 7-point lead. There's an answer. Dayon Goodman, the sophomore. Long and quick and athletic. Big-time offensive rebounder when they need him. Looks like one of those players you put in there for a short spurt and he can change a game.
The length to block shots, change shots.
He's got the rebound that time. He's got 27 points in his last 2 contests. He sees it, he converts it.
And how about the versatility to take it end to end?
Let's go Wolverine defense.
A little bit beyond the 2-minute mark. As the back and forth continues. UVU, 4 of their last 4 from the floor. GCU, Grand Canyon, 9 of 11. Dunk missed, but a second chance. Into the corner it goes for Marley, off the mark. Braun with an offensive rebound, Grand Canyon basketball. That possession had a little bit of everything.
Darren, most times when you see a guy who's a scorer, they're a ball chaser. But in this case, it's Braun going back door.
Back to live action, wheeling and dealing in the paint. A miss coming up empty. The answer was there. DeAndre Davis penetrating. And it's Wolverine basketball. We just want to make sure you were paying close attention. Make sure all our advertisers were queued up and ready to go. We'll get you in just a sec. We love our fine sponsors and support. All of our partners, American Sports Network. He's going to keep trying until he gets one. My goodness. At some point, come on, coach, that's bad luck. There's a lid on it for Ivory Young.
And they're good looks. You can't be upset. I think we're going to get a foul on Marley.
Young, by the way, just to finish the thought, 0 of 6 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3. And the coach, Marley, says to the player, Marley, simply, why? As he hollered out. Check on his nephew, and nephew may be grabbing a seat here in a moment. Let's see.
Sometimes that's all you can get out as a coach. Why?
That is exactly the case. Matt Jackson checks back in. Nearly 11,000 points as an NBA player. The Suns give out, you want to know the kind of player Dan Marley was? They give out each year the Dan Marley Hustle Award. I know you played the game the right way as that next free throw is dropped in, and the Hustle Award is named after you.
And I saw that firsthand when he was at Central Michigan. I was coaching at Bowling Green. Very similar to Josh Braun as a player.
That's quite a compliment. Andrew Bastian whistled for the foul. Mark Pope's team will send Grand Canyon to the line, and we'll see Keonta Vernon with his opportunity. Vernon with 9 points, into the line 4 times, 3 of 4. He's got 6 rebounds as well. He's kind of been a pain in the backside for the Wolverines.
He's been able to score on offensive rebounds, and he's gotten by them in transition to the rim a couple of times already.
Grand Canyon 9 of 11 from the line. Utah Valley 9 of 10 from the line. Davis ran into trouble. A couple of quick passes. It goes into the corner. Boy, Jackson is so quick with his feet, unable to get that one to go in. Out front, Vernon again, blocked.
I gotta tell you, the bravest man in this gym, Alex Carr, to stand in front of Vernon and try and take that charge. And I gotta tell you, I think it was a charge.
Okay. Why?
I thought he was there. Now, from our angle, perhaps the official thought he may have been falling down before the contact, but you got to give him points for trying to step in front of that freight train.
In the world of full disclosure and information, they just showed the replay here in-house on the board above us, and the crowd agrees with you. I'm not surprised that occurred. You are right down the middle on your call, and they're not as much.
Well, see, the officials don't understand. I taught my players, you feel contact, hit the ground, it's an automatic charge. Sometimes they agree with me, sometimes they don't.
Vernon missed the second one. He's 6 of 8 from the line. He's got 12 points. He's got 6 rebounds as well. Braun with 17 for Grand Canyon. Marcel Davis with 11 to lead Utah Valley. Difference of 7 seconds. Interesting there to force yourself that much defensively and cause a whistle. Probably not a good choice. One of the rare poor choices by Vernon here in the first half.
And Darren, that's the change from a year ago. A year ago, post guys would be able to jump out on the ball screen and bump the ball handler. This year, it's been called pretty consistently.
Shot clock turned off. Grand Canyon has missed their last 6 from the floor. Davis makes them both. Let's see if they can turn that around. Davis with 13 points. Got himself caught up in a bit of a mess. Trying to clean it up was Davis. Braun goes high up for that one. He'll be whistled for the foul. Josh Braun. There's a little bit more than a second left, so a couple of frustrating fouls for GCU in the waning seconds.
Watch the box out by Davis. Just enough to force Braun to come over his back.
Second personal. Pair of free throws. Boy, you hate that. 1.4 on the clock. Played a couple of years at Utah State before transferring his freshman and his sophomore year. Marcel announced his presence with authority at Utah State as a freshman. His 6th college game, he had 21 points. 21 points. The launch from long distance. Oh, it nearly went in as it bangs in and out on the right hand of DeAndre Davis. Well, the energy in the building has been as advertised, and the pace of this contest has lived up to it as well. The team with the highest RPI in the WAC is Grand Canyon University. Still not eligible for postseason play, so games like this, as they wrap up the regular season, mean everything. And by the way, for Utah Valley, it's senior day. They've certainly got something to say about it.
Hi, I'm Mark Adams. In March of 2014, just before a road game at George Mason, Duquesne's Derek Coulter reported a small lump on his neck to the athletic trainer at Duquesne. From that day on, his life began to change. A biopsy was ordered right after the last game in the A-10 tournament. The result was clear. Derek Coulter had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Upon hearing the news, Coulter felt his life suddenly stop. His mother cried, and his dad just stared straight ahead. Coulter knew he had to compete. It was now time for the younger brother, who was born healthy, to show the determination and grace of his older brother, JJ, who lived his entire life with cerebral palsy. JJ never spoke a word or walked a day in his life, but he had set an example of toughness before he died in 2012 for his younger brother to follow, especially now. Coulter would be treated in Pittsburgh. He would continue his education at Duquesne, and he would fight his disease as a member of the Dukes basketball team. If attitude is truly paramount when facing a dreaded disease like cancer, then Derek Coulter's attitude was certainly part of the cure. He was one part discipline, one part determination, and one part champion, just like his brother JJ. His discipline showed in his ability to keep his schedule both in the classroom and on the court. He battled through 20 consecutive weekday radiation treatments at Shadyside Hospital in Pittsburgh during the summer of 2014. Coulter continued his normal student life in his dorm room and his workout regimen throughout. Last season, Coulter led Duquesne in scoring. Derek Coulter is a cancer survivor and is now the star senior guard of the Duquesne Dukes. He regularly visits pediatric cancer patients at Pittsburgh area hospitals. Derek Coulter is a winner, and we're proud to present him on the American Sports Network.
But we want to honor him and 6 other of his associates who started and founded BYU on a very simple principle, and that is people helping people. That mission is our mission today, and so I'd like to recognize the Orton family who's here. Can you give them a big round of applause on behalf of the team? Thank you. We also have here Will Feller here. These guys in the suits, they look good because they sell jewelry. Will Feller is the owner of Goldsmith Jeweler, and his son-in-law Tony are here to present the family. Matt and his Ramon are representing the family with a very generous gift from the jewelry shop at Goldsmith Jeweler down on University Avenue. Thank you, Will. And again, thank you to the Ortons. Thank you for being here. We're so proud of your grandpa and your dad for his vision and what it's done and meant to this community. Thank you.
Another round of applause for our sponsors, Utah Community Credit Union. Thank you. All right, families, now it's time to welcome to the court Island Style Dance Studio.
Program. You guys do it at GCU a little bit different than others, but let's say I was a very talented student at let's say no. Halftime, Utah Valley Grand Canyon, and we welcome you back to Orem, Utah. Coach Dan Marley, of course, of Halftime, Utah Valley Grand Canyon, and we welcome you back to Orem, Utah. Coach Dan Marley, of course, of the Antelopes. And, Coach, it's interesting, recruiting to a mid-major program. You guys do it at GCU a little bit different than others, but let's say I was a very talented student at let's say, Notre Dame Prep in your city, okay? A very talented basketball player, and Arizona and ASU were all after me, and some schools from California. Sell me on your school, please.
Well, I think it's real easy. Downtown Phoenix, you have a chance to come in and contribute right away to a growing program. We have 15,000 students, soon to be 30,000 students, a 100-seat arena that fills up every night, a Havoc section, the student section, which I think rivals any in the country. Come in right away and be a part of a building a program. And what we have at GCU right now is great, and it's only can get better. Because we started, I was there, 3 years ago, it was 4,000 students, now 15,000, soon to be 30. We continue to grow. We play some of the best competition in the United States. We're opening up at Duke next year. We're at U of A. We have Louisville and San Diego State playing on our campus. We'll have a chance to win the WAC when we're eligible, which is after next year, and that's a chance to go to the tournament every year.
Okay, so I'm interested. You've recruited me a little bit. I'm kind of buying in, so now I might make the ride over to your place and think about playing. If I were to sign on the dotted line with you, what would you tell me are some of the non-negotiable standards if I wanted to play for you on and off the court?
Well, you got to love basketball. You got to be competitive, and that's in the classroom, that's on the floor, that's in the weight room. I'm a very competitive guy, and knowing you would want to be somebody that would go and play after college, whether that's overseas or in the pros. And I have a lot of guys ask that, and I said, well, I'm the guy that can get you there. Mentally and physically, I can prepare for you. Now, that's up to you to do that. And the minute I see you slipping, and I'm going to hold you to that standard, that's what I expected you, because that's what you want, and that's what we want to be a top 25 program, and that's not easy to do, especially at the mid-major program. So I demand a lot of our guys, but we have a lot of fun doing it. We have great teammates, and you'll love the school.
So as you journey through this transition from out of Division II to Division I, and you do all the things that you've done, and you wait to play in postseason, which I know is certainly frustrating, some of the things that go on for you, beyond the 5 years as an NBA assistant coach, are learning to coach, learning to run the program. What's your biggest strength have you found as a head coach? And after that, what do you have the most to learn about?
Well, I think my biggest strength is just doing it. I've been there. I've been to a mid-major school. I went to Central Michigan. I've played at all levels. I've been a player that was a center in high school, a center my first 2 years in college. I went to be a shooting guard in the NBA. So I've played every aspect of the game, and I really know basketball. I've been under some of the best coaches in America. So I know how to play basketball. And some of my weaknesses where I didn't know a lot about the ins and outs of college basketball, and that's why I hired, I think, one of the best staffs in the country. Todd Lee, our associate coach, has done a terrific job of bringing me along of what to learn in college basketball as far as off the floor. And we also do a great job of developing our players.
Has being a parent of teenagers, those that are growing up, helped you be a coach of teenagers and millennials?
No. I demand.
And I mean communication.
Yeah. I communicate. I think one of my strengths is I'm very honest with all of our players, and I think that's what guys want. They know exactly what I expect of them. I tell the truth, good and bad, and there's no surprises. And they know that from Jump Street. That when I recruit them, I sit them on the couch, I tell them this is what I'm going to expect, and if you're not up to the standards, we're going to have a problem.
And finally, communication with your bosses and obviously with your students. You do a lot with your students, but you have Brian Mueller, your president and CEO. You have your athletic director, Mike Vaught. Jerry Colangelo's been intricately involved. How is your communication with them? Because it seems like it's real good.
I have the best support staff in the country. President Mueller meets with all our student athletes, our recruits. Mr. Colangelo's guy I lean on. So the executive team at Grand Canyon University gives us every opportunity to be a top 25 team.
Okay, I'd like to come play for your program.
You're welcome. Come on, shooter,
right.
Shooter right here.
I wish I had those athletic skills. Dan Marley, and we'll continue on with the second half. Glad to have you with us in Orem, Utah. College basketball rolls on the American Sports Network. La la la. What do you got for us here? What's the word? We'll just talk. I'm not scared. Are you scared?
Nah, I'm not scared. Terrified, though, if one more group of dancers comes out. I might start clogging over here.
We were telling you as we came on the air how good Grand Canyon is on the road. This is a team that is 8-4 away from Phoenix, Arizona, 45-43. As we take a look at some of the numbers, offensive rebounds have been a difference certainly for Grand Canyon. What else for you?
There's two ways to get additional shots. Fewer turnovers, more offensive rebounds. Both teams taking advantage of their strengths. Utah Valley, only 5 turnovers. On the flip side, Grand Canyon, 6 offensive rebounds already.
You see the difference in that game, the offensive rebounds, and with regard to the athleticism, some of the key scorers have been involved. We knew that Josh Braun would not stay quiet. The academic All-American, who was 2 of 16 from the floor in his last 3, he's been a big contributor.
And it also, Vernon, defensively and also getting to the rack. And then Braun. He is such a hard worker as we see Vernon on that finish. And even though he absorbs contact, Braun knocks it down, and then again, backdoor, terrific read, react.
So the athleticism, certainly for Utah Valley, down by just a pair, has been shown by Jaden Jackson, one of the all-time leading scorers in Utah history as a prep player. Jackson is a guy that finds his way, he finds an open shot, and it's been no difference in this one, 4 of 9 from the floor.
Well, Jackson in transition, he is going to finish it. First of all, we're going to see my guy, my favorite guy, Alex Carr.
We're seeing all the highlights in this one.
Senior night, Alex Carr. You expect Jaden Jackson to score. You expect Marcel Davis. But there's always one senior who doesn't normally do a lot, and it's Alex Carr having his day today.
So we talked about it as we went to break for Grand Canyon. This is one of those games, it's a big statement game, and they want to send a message on their way out of the regular season.
Well, they certainly do, because again, everything is building up to 2 years from now when they go to the NCAA tournament. Again, if they were eligible, they'd be an at-large team.
Darren Sutton, Coach Z, Rich Zavosik, certainly glad to have you with us. The second half of action coming your way right around the corner. Grand Canyon controls the basketball as we start the second half of play. 10-3 in WAC play coming in. New Mexico State, the leader of this conference, the regular season champs at 12-1. Fader with a beautiful touch. Russell gets things started, the junior. He has 12 points now.
Darren, let's see who cleans up the area of weakness in the first half. Can Utah Valley keep Grand Canyon off the glass? Can Grand Canyon not turn the ball over?
We're talking about that first half. Turnovers 10 for Grand Canyon, just 5 for Utah Valley. And for a team that plays at such a hard pace, that's a very low tally with regard to turnovers. Physical presence, the jump stop, the follow. There's the weakness that you talked about. Glaze came up empty, but Vernon cleaned it up.
Smash Brothers working together.
They do look like a couple of bouncers, don't they? Look at those two.
I'd want them in my foxhole, that's for sure.
Glaze number 1, Vernon number 24. Into the corner, that one goes. The triple, the miss. Glaze with the defensive rebound after Connor Fry came up empty. Errant pass, and Canyon pulls that one back together. Bakersfield at 10-3 in conference play. They'll play later on tonight. A Bakersfield loss, obviously. And a Grand Canyon win, and Grand Canyon will lock up that 2 spot. Still not eligible to play in postseason play.
Alex Carr is going to do everything he can to keep Vernon from getting a shot, but he's given up 5 inches, about 20 pounds.
Missed the first free throw. He's got 14 points. He's 6 of 9 from the line. Carr sits down. Goodman comes in. Grand Canyon started playing basketball collegiately right about the 50s, 1949, 1950. Played at the NAIA level. As a matter of fact, they won 3 NAIA national championships. 75, 78, 88. This is a team fresh into the Division I, as aggressive as they are, as successful as they are. Strong financially, too. They're just a couple of years away from playing small college basketball.
Dan Marley, not their first ex-NBA guy, be a head coach there, as Paul Westphal was head coach at Grand Canyon once upon a time.
Goodman whistled for his 3rd foul. He stays out on the floor. 2 minutes have disappeared. Grand Canyon leads it by 7. All right, I've waited for an option. I'll take it myself for the second chance. See if there's another chance for Grand Canyon. There is not. They missed that time by Gerard Martin. And it's turned over.
And that time, Utah Valley too fast for conditions.
Grand Canyon challenged themselves with Louisville. Louisville beat them handily, 111-63. They went to San Diego State and beat them. Grand Canyon also beat Houston by 9. Some of the challenges along the way, penetrating. Dishing Glaze comes up empty. At the free throw line, off the back of the iron, and a miss. ECU, one of their last 6 from the floor. Will the lid come off for Young? There it is! Somebody finally took it off. Oh, baby, he was 0 for 6 before that one.
You want to know what shooter's mentality is? 0 for 6 until still take number 7.
Ivor Young, a junior out of Houston, Texas, with that one. Averages 9 points a game. 27 against Bakersfield at the end of January. 27 against a very good team. Nothing there. That look wasn't there. The Smash Brothers, as you call them, a little too aggressive. Held their ground. Hands were up defensively for the Antelopes. Braun, 3. Bang! Joshua Braun having a spectacular afternoon. He's got 20. Braun's career high of 34 came against this team earlier this year. We hate to see that. Marcel Davis whistled for the foul. I know Mark Pope doesn't like it.
Frustration by Davis, 94 feet from the rim. Son, we need you in the game. You can't commit a foul like that.
We saw Coach Mark Pope a moment ago, the head man at Utah Valley. All these young men that he coaches and all these young men that he leads. He said his perspective comes at home, Coach Pope. His wife, Leanne, and then there are 4 daughters. There's Ella, there's Avery, there's Layla, and there's Shay. He's got a whole bunch of young men as Grandy Glaze converts. But then he's got, well, 5. He's got an entire starting team, if you include mom, of young ladies at home. And he said, I love that perspective. A true family man, Mark Pope, values the impact they've had on his life, certainly. A quick call-up timeout. His squad down by 9 at home. Grand Canyon. Couldn't defense him that time. Finally, Ivory getting it done. What do you got, Coach? What do you think?
I was going to expound on your point, but I'm trying to remember. His wife is the daughter of Lynn Archibald?
Yes,
is that right?
I should have written that down, though. That's right. Yeah, because she knows the game. That's right.
Almost positive.
He's a long-time assistant at Utah? Is that right? No? Yeah.
I know.
They coached him.
Our women's soccer team, led by head coach Nick
Glad to have you back on campus. We're talking about Mark Pope and his family ties, his wife Leanne, the heartbeat of the home life, and her dad, the late Lynn Archibald, the very successful coach at Utah and at many other programs as an assistant. Pass underneath, wide open, Goodman. So mom at home certainly gets the game.
Well, it's good when your wife is the daughter of a former coach. She knows what to expect. She knows when the head coach has had a good practice or a bad practice. Always helps.
So there's a support mechanism, which is awesome, but she can also sometimes tell him to get over himself, right? I mean, come on now.
With 4 daughters, I'm sure that happens a lot.
Firm off the glass and a miss and a whistle. Dwayne Russell came up empty. (55-48). 5 minutes have disappeared here in the second half. Jackson whistled for that foul. Matt Jackson, his first personal. Davis got Braun to elevate, couldn't draw the foul, but he converted off the window.
The patience of a senior. Shot fake, wait till they blow by.
A miss and another opportunity. Davis, by the way, with 16 points, his team down 5. Up and out of the fingertips of Goodman.
Good idea by Jackson. He saw Goodman open and just couldn't quite complete the play.
It was called tight in the first half. At about the 9-minute mark, both teams were in the bonus. Teams have made their free throws. Utah Valley 12 of 14, Grand Canyon 11 of 15. From the corner, all right, there's the shooter.
There's one guy you got to find. It's Marley.
Ryan, we told you, has averaged 12 points a game in his last 5. There's another shooter. Off the front of the iron.
Wow. Just surprised when he misses a shot.
Ryan Marley, by the way, we were talking about him, has transferred from Toledo, Grand Valley State. He's shooting it again. Comes up empty, a little long that time. All the way, the freshman with the miss. Jake had 4 points in the first half. 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Marley penetrating, giving it up. It's swatted away by Hayden.
Terrific job of making sure that you don't make contact down below. And that's exactly what Mark Pope talked about. Funnel the ball to the baseline where you got help.
Got a foul on the hardwood on UVU. Looks like they might have gotten Young there. Did they get Corey Cardwell? Corey Cardwell whistled for that one. His 3rd foul.
This is their philosophy. Force the ball back to the baseline where your rotation will come. Schenk came over, but the helper was a little bit late. Forced a foul.
Matt Jackson, the business management major out of Melbourne, Australia. Sophomore. 13 points against Utah Valley. 5 boards in the win back on January 16th. Matt makes them both. A couple of Australians, Gerard Martin, an Australian player as well. 13 minutes to go in this one. 10-point Grand Canyon lead. Boy, that was pretty. Spinning until he found the right look, Marcel Davis. Marcel's got 18. And an offensive foul on Grand Canyon.
Well, first of all, it's Marcel Davis breaking him down off the dribble. He is one of the few guys who is capable of going into the paint, scoring over bigger players.
979 career points for Davis. That includes that time at Utah State. Trying to feed Fry, and a foul. Matt Jackson not so sure about that call as he's whistled for it. And bowling ball's coming back in. Keonta Vernon.
We're going to see the read, the slip of the screen. Well, maybe that's not a foul in Australia, but it's definitely a foul here in the United States.
The miss. Just a moment ago, Ivory Young finally got one to go, but now just 1 of 8 from the floor. Ivory with 3 points, the one make a triple, averages 9 points a game. Athletically, but the roll wasn't there. Couldn't get it to go up and in. DeAndre Davis, the Austin, Texas native. Davis goes to work. Davis streaking right through. Follow that yellow brick road. It was wide open because he earned it. Marcel with 20. Just beyond the free throw line. Fry grabs the defensive rebound. Schenk will go to the line. Fighting for that bucket, Hayden Schenk. His teammate leading the way in Marcel Davis, the senior, celebrating his final home game. Okay. Don't forget to join us. Don't forget to join us at the American Sports Network. Temple Owls at Tulane Green Wave from New Orleans, 2 o'clock Eastern.
Tulane led by Ed Conroy, who is a little depressed today as his uncle Pat Conroy passed away, the famed writer. Wrote a couple of books that I truly loved. My Losing Season, from about Citadel and The Great Santini, one of my favorite movies. Our condolences go out to Pat Conroy, and Ed Conroy doing a fantastic job at Tulane.
Rest in peace, and thank you for that mention. You think about the family. Into the corner, quick pass to Braun. Couldn't get the roll that time. Somehow the smallest man in the scrum came up with it and earned a second chance. DeAndre Davis swiped it out of there, and Keonta Vernon will take advantage and go to the line.
He was smart enough to know that the trees were coming after him. He gives it to Vernon, and that's not necessarily a bad foul, with Vernon having a point-blank look at the basket.
7 of 10 from the line. This is his 11th shot at a free throw. And he misses. I told you, Vernon, 52%, so certainly not an outstanding free throw shooter. Having a good game, though. He's got 15 points and 12 rebounds. A double-double already. A high arcing miss. $11 minutes to go in this contest. How in the world did Young find the opening there to Connor Frye? He did.
They space you out and they go backdoor.
That's his third assist. He may not be making the shots, but he certainly shared it well there. Braun firm, imposing his will as he fights his way in. 22 points for Joshua. Had the assist, still can't get the make. 1 of 9 now from the floor. Grand Canyon, 2 of their last 10 in field goal attempts. They may get Young with the foul there on a hold. Let's see. That's exactly what it is. Second personal. 10-minute mark already in the bonus, Grand Canyon. And Josh can shoot some free throws. He's been to the line a ton, over 200 times this year, shooting 87%. 200 trips to the line.
And there's teams that combined don't have that much.
Well, I'm playing on a state champion team, Boulder Creek High School in Arizona, his freshman year. And he was a big part of it. Frye comes up with nothing. Black tournament at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Utah Valley will be the 4 seed. They've locked that up. They'll either take on Rio Grande Valley or UNKC. First round game, March the 10th. Caught a break right there. That was not a good choice with regard to the pass by Vernon.
No, and Braun was trying to orchestrate it. Vernon just trying to follow directions. But
so senior Corey Cardwell sitting with his mates on the bench. Cardwell has yet to score. He has spent 4 fouls in this game, though. Had to shift hands, but the follow was there. It's an offensive foul, no bucket. No bucket, they say. Vernon used that forearm to clear his way. We see the foul trouble. Let's see.
watch this replay. And I don't know about that one. I mean, that's two bodies colliding. He had already put it through the rim.
That's the key.
He grabbed it.
That's the key. He had the forearm on him and kind of, it was more clearing himself a landing space.
Absolutely. Of course, we have the benefit of slow motion.
And that young man has the benefit of incredible athleticism. Marcel Davis, he's got 22 now. His career high is 28.
Utah Valley just hanging around, hanging around.
At the free throw line, nowhere close. Grand Canyon, the Lopes will end up with the basketball.
And that's exactly what they worked on in the pregame shoot-around. Don't come out and play him, back him out. But you gotta play Marcel Davis anytime he touches the ball.
Okay, Davis with the foul. Yeah, we talked about the support that Grand Canyon feels on campus. Brand new arena. Dan Marley has students that will fill about 30% of the arena, and they sell out just about every time. The Havoc's the student section. It's an active campus, too. I mean, we see college athletes like Braun playing, but they have 11,000 students currently on campus. Their intramural program signed up 8,000 participants in their most recent time. So it's basketball, it's softball, and ultimate frisbee are the top three.
Wow.
It's Phoenix, it's beautiful. Six-point lead, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon shooting just 29% from the floor in the second half. 2 of their last 12. Utah Valley, 8 of 18, 44%. My goodness, along 3 in traffic. And Goodman nearly came up with it. That, by the way, was Jaden Jackson. Jackson, 4 of 12 from the floor.
He's had some good looks, just hasn't been able to knock him down.
The funny thing about Jaden, if he doesn't have the good look, he'll find it. He'll make it. Along the baseline. The idea was there. The pass maybe a little too slippery as it came all the way through for Vernon. Young with another frustrating miss. He's now 1 of 10 from the floor. Vernon gives it up underneath. There's your Smash Brothers. Randy Glaze takes advantage from Keonta Vernon. Smash Brothers, right?
It is the Smash Brothers.
I want to make sure I got that correct. The A's had the Bash Brothers in the 80s. These two from Grand Canyon are the Smash Brothers.
The Sixers had the Bruise Brothers, Mahorn and Ruland.
They were together there, the Smash Brothers. You see them. Vernon and Glaze. They didn't work out exactly as they had planned. Kind of like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, just the Blues Brothers. It's another good way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Hang with us, though, too.
If the women's basketball player makes it, you're still in the prize. She's just representing you. Everybody should go. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's start this in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Second place prize is going to be a longboard from Jace Boards.
Sure.
Congratulations, high state choreographer Maria. Thank you to our women's basketball team. Molly, we got a couple of prizes you guys are giving away tonight. Katie, Finch, Taylor Fox, Taylor, Teasdale, Michael Jensen, Taylor Warner. You won prizes. If that is you, meet our all president right down here in the corner for prizes. Congratulations. Dustin, back to you.
Take a look at the foul situation. Keonta Vernon has 3. Also, Matt Jackson down that list. Marley has spent 3 fouls. Ryan Marley. With regard to foul trouble, Gerard Martin, a backup point guard. Connor Fry and Cardwell. Cardwell has 4. Goodman with 3. And Alex Carr with 3 as well. These officials have done a very good job. They've been consistent, but D.G. Nelson, Kurt Walker, and Scott Debo have not been afraid to use those whistles.
You look at the foul trouble for both teams. If I'm looking at it, as long as Russell and Davis aren't in foul trouble, I'm a happy coach.
Randy Glaze at the line, second attempt, working on his master's degree in leadership at Grand Canyon. And he makes the second. Randy has just 7. He has been red hot lately. 24 points, 13 rebounds against Bakersfield earlier this year. Went for 14 and 10 against Grand Canyon. Young all the way, another miss. He got a pat on his chest as he went by his teammate, Jaden Jackson. Keep shooting.
It's all you can do if you're Ivory, and hey, he went to the rim. He didn't settle for a jump shot on that last possession.
Shot clock at 10. Vernon gives it up, and a chance to shoot a couple of free throws. Foul on Marcel Davis. That's his 4th.
Now I'm worried about foul trouble. Ooh. From that angle, it looked like he had all ball. The official must have thought he had some hand.
Glaze went 1 of 2 a moment ago. 65% on the year. Davis has to sit down.
And Glaze is one of those atypical guys who actually plays better on the road, scoring at almost 2 more points a game.
Ten-point Lopes lead. Fry just inside of the free throw line. Once he got a handle on it, put it home. 6 points for Connor Fry. Usually a big scorer, averages 14 a game. Randy missed that last one. Well off the mark. They'll get DeAndre Davis with the foul. That's his 2nd.
There, and that play was set up by Alex Carr, the guy who averaged 1.2 points per game, but because he's got 10 in this game, they fly at him. All of a sudden, he penetrates, swings it to the next guy, and now they have to close out harder, and Jackson able to get to the rim.
Carr goes to sit down with those 10 points, as you mentioned. He's perfect. 4 of 4 from the floor. Officials talking this one over, not quite sure what the subject is.
They're over there working on his back. I don't know about you, but if I was guarding Vernon and Glaze all this game, my back would be hurting too.
Jackson with the first free throw, it's good. Getting 600 points in 2 years of play. There's Jaden at home, and then there are 3 sisters. There's Janessa, Genesee, and Gentile along with Jaden. So 1 of 4 children, the lone young man at home. Runner firm off the back of the iron. Young fights his way through the crowd to take it away. Jackson will go to the line.
Mark Pope's philosophy in action. Pace, 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 extra pass. Young looks ahead. They outrun Grand Canyon back. Now Jackson has a chance to pull him closer. It may not show in the wins and loss columns with Mark Pope this year, but he has set the foundation for the future. And these three seniors who stuck around to play for him this year have helped create that future.
We're talking about a school that in 1993 began awarding 4-year degrees.
Transition time for both schools.
And a program that's never been to the NCAA tournament at the highest level. Same can be said for Grand Canyon.
I'm going to go out on the limb, though, Darren. Within the next 5 years, I think they're going to erase that blemish on their records. Mark Pope will take this program to the NCAA tournament. Dan Marley and what he is setting in motion at Grand Canyon will come to fruition.
First free throw good, dropped in by DeAndre Davis. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of support from sports legend, especially in the Valley, Jerry Colangelo. Grand Canyon's College of Business, named the Colangelo College of Business. Founder of the Suns and the Diamondbacks, head man USA Basketball. A conscientious sports owner in his time now. Big supporter of Grand Canyon in many ways. Fry, offensive foul. That's a good step right there by DeAndre Davis, a sophomore.
The officials are going to talk about that. And that's going to be called a block. If you notice his feet, the purple shoes were on the line. And because they were on the line, that's a block.
So they got together with different perspectives. I like that. Communicate.
You know, when they first brought the line in the block charge arc, I thought it would help officials make the call. And then I started talking to some of the other coaches, and they said, no, it'll make it worse because now officials are going to be watching guys' feet, and they're going to miss the play. But if you get good teamwork with your officiating crew, as you saw on that last possession, it can work.
Fry misses the second, his team within 7. Just over 5 minutes to go in this contest. Coach Rich Zavosik, my name is Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Saturday afternoon. They get Young underneath there. Young sliding underneath, and DeAndre Davis hit the hardwood with a thud.
They got 15 offensive rebounds. Grand Canyon does. You're going to do whatever you can to keep them off the glass.
Davis, a 70% free throw shooter. He's got 3 points now. Cardwell in for Young. The senior comes in for a junior.
Aaron, it's not an accident that Grand Canyon is so good on the offensive glass. They're over 11 offensive rebounds a year. That's a point of emphasis for Dan Marley in his program. Try and create easy second chance opportunities.
Jump hook, a thing of beauty by Dayon Goodman. Right along the baseline, hanging around, 7-point deficit. Braun. The answer not there, so back the other way. Come the Wolverines. Cardwell just checked in. Jackson, great hustle. It's kept alive. UVU basketball.
Both wanted a foul on the sidelines. And Marley saying, hey, we need to get a rebound. If it's a long shot, it's going to come out long. We just can't walk under the rim.
Weaving outside of that three-point line, just lowering his shoulder there, Jackson. Jackson clears himself. The follow right behind Connor Fry, the junior, out of bountiful Utah. Oh my, that'll quiet him. Dwayne Russell. He's got 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. More than 1,000 career points. I like him, Coach.
He's easy to like. That's easy to like, that pressure.
Shank with the triple. He's got 9 points.
Almost feel like this place is one stop and a score away from exploding.
An offensive foul underneath. They got DeAndre Davis trying to clear things out. Energy in the building on senior day. There are 5 seniors that have worn this Wolverines uniform. They would love to go out in style. What do you got?
UNI knocked off Wichita State.
Whoa, come on.
It's good for the Missouri Valley. Means 2 teams get in.
Thank you.
He's a top 5 coach.
So a quiet spout for Grand Canyon, 2 of their last 9, and a nice run by the seniors for Utah Valley has them right in this contest. Jackson and Marcel Davis, Jaden Jackson with 11 points. Davis having a spectacular afternoon. He's got 22. He's got 4 fouls though, so he has to sit.
Saving his best for last.
And of course, Alex Carr, you mentioned that 1 point a game, and Carr has 10.
Gonna say it again, Darren. That's the magic of senior night.
You did say that. Well beyond his career high. His career high in the game was 7. So that's the way you go out for Carr.
Cardwell, another senior who doesn't score a lot of points. Only 7 of 9 from the free throw line coming into this game. He's now 9 of 11.
Braun with the miss. He had the look, wanted a foul, unhappy with that one. Davis for 3, short. Marley grabs the rebound. Scoreboard and the clock on your side if you're Grand Canyon. But instead, there's that. It's forced.
That's the first big shot he's missed.
Russell, 14 points. Not that time, though. Maybe a little too quick. If he makes it, it looks great. The walk-on Fry. Shank all the way up. Glass comes up empty. And they'll get a foul. I would imagine they'll get Goodman that time. He had some space. That's his fourth.
He cleared out space the old-fashioned way. You can see him here as an excellent job by Russell. Giving up about 10 inches. He boxes him out. Fundamental 101. Little things at the end of the game.
Dwayne's first trip to the free throw line. Rattles that one in, a 70% free throw shooter. Oh, well-rounded has the game been for the redshirt junior Russell. More than 1,000 points, nearly 400 assists, 121 steals. First part of his career at Northern Arizona. Young man out of Peoria, Arizona High School makes them both. Lead is 4. Under 2 minutes. Davis steps back. Can't get it to go.
Halfway down. Right now, if you're Grand Canyon, get it to Braun.
And they did. Joshua will go to the line. Braun with 26 points. 60 points this year. 60 against Utah Valley in his 2 games.
I got to tell you, Darren, he's got 26, and it's been a very quiet 26.
It's so interesting. I agree. Conference is where he comes up best. He averages 18 points a game within the WAC, about 15 out of conference. He's a business management major.
He's a very efficient businessman. 8 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, 10 of 10 from the foul line. Can't get more efficient than that.
Jackson gets it from Fry, and great job defensively, just putting his hand on the basketball. That's Russell.
Another terrific defensive play by Russell. Takes away a sure basket.
Down 6, looking for the elixir to heal that deficit. Jackson, is he the doctor? Not that time. Boy, Marley pushed a bit to grab that rebound. No whistle.
If you're Utah Valley, you play it out one more possession. Try and get a stop.
Shot clock heads toward 10.
The biggest thing on your mind, besides keeping it out of Braun's hands, is find 5 dark jerseys on the shot.
And Russell just lowered his shoulder, and now he'll go to the line. Well, that couldn't have been a better possession. Free throw attempt, took it down. 27 seconds disappeared.
And as a bonus, that's Marcel Davis's 5th foul.
That's the senior. They say goodbye to the senior out of American Fork, Utah. Had 17 against Grand Canyon earlier this year. Had 22 in this one. He would do anything to be out there for the final moments of this one.
You know what makes it even better? He's a terrific young man. A great family guy. How he has helped his younger brother has been well chronicled. Just a terrific young man. A credit to Mark Pope and his program and Dick Hunsaker and bringing him in to begin with.
First free throw bounces in there. And Russell adds to his point total. He's got 17 now. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Braun with 28. Davis, who has fouled out, 22 to lead Utah Valley. Missed a second. 7 points. Hard to see where that occurred, but they'll call Matt Jackson on that one. Almost looked like a carry by Shane.
Well, that was actually a missed double dribble. And just a hand on the waist.
Hayden makes the first. Freshman with 10 points now. Either one of these teams has been lighting it up lately. They're not sprinting to the finish line. GCU, 2 of their last 11 from the floor. Utah Valley, 2 of 8. Free throw line's been no problem, right? I mean, that's not been a problem.
You're going to get full court pressure. You got to run through the pass. Great play. Garrett Martin. People want to talk about all the time about a high basketball IQ. That's a high basketball IQ. Time score situation, possession, most important thing. Grand Canyon up 5, holding on.
Okay. Okay. Got it. What's the tournament these guys are playing in? CTI, CIT?
CIT,
Okay.
College Insider Tournament.
Okay.
Come on, man. I'm on the selection
I know.
committee.
I am sorry. Please
give me a
don't be
little
mad.
respect.
Please, please. I'm so sorry.
Happens all the time.
Now they're having fun. There's no doubt about that. They would love to head to their cars and to their dorms with a victory, but these fans, these students have done a great job. We talk about the bar that really has been set on campus for student support in the WAC by Grand Canyon and the Havoc student section. By the way, Grand Canyon will have home games. They can't play in the tournament, but they'll play in the CIT tournament postseason, correct?
They'll play in the College Insider Tournament. They'll host a couple of games if they win the first round, that is. The right guy has the ball. 10-second count. Just makes it.
They did make it across. Difference of about 13 seconds or so. Shot clock, game clock, and Joshua Braun is fouled. He's 10 of 10, as you mentioned earlier, from the free throw line.
They really didn't want to foul him, but they had no choice. He wasn't giving up the ball.
So didn't you know it? As he misses the first, didn't you know that Braun would have a day like this? He has 28 in this one. In his previous 3 games, he had 16 total.
It's like that 300 hitter who goes 0 for 4. He's due.
Oh boy, look out. 6-point lead, Young. Finally gets one to go. What a great time to have that happen. He was just 1 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 8 from 3.
Shooter's mentality.
Wow.
There was no hesitation.
And this is a critical word. I don't mean it this way, but the worst shooter in this game just hit a huge shot in this game.
But he believes he's the best shooter in this game, and that's all that matters. Terrific stroke, finish. Now they get a chance to get into full court pressure. If you're Grand Canyon, Dan Marley, you're telling your guy who is passing the ball inbounds, Make sure you don't gamble on an inbounds pass. Burn a timeout if you can't get it in. It's going to be Martin. And then if you are Utah Valley, it's face guard. Try and get a 5-second count. You may have time for a steal in the backcourt, foul in the front court, and Grand Canyon receivers run through the pass, come to meet the ball.
Grand Canyon leads it by 3. Out front, it's there. It's wide open. It's a jam. Matt Jackson, the sophomore out of Melbourne, Australia. Young will try it again from 3 off the mark. Jackson, in breaking that press, was the dagger for the Lopes. Well, they just did break through, and Jackson kind of left unattended there.
Terrific execution by Grand Canyon. So often you see a team, they don't look up the floor against extreme pressure. What Grand Canyon did, they took advantage.
Hockey comparison, what UVU tried basically was to pull the goalie. It just didn't work out. Ryan Marley misses the first free throw attempt, native of Rockford, Michigan, Rockford High School. He makes the second. Marley's got 4 points. As this game disappears, both these teams, with a heck of an effort, Braun goes hard toward our table. Good to see that he's all right. 1/10 of a second in this contest left.
Connor Fry, who came over and bumped Braun. A lesser man would have been knocked off his feet, but Braun absorbed it. And then Fry walked over and gave Braun a little pat. Good sportsmanship. And Fry, his 5th foul. He'll end it with 1 second to go.
Fry, the junior, they will see him here again next year, averaging 14 points a game. 9 points in this one. His team ready for the WAC tournament in Las Vegas. Their opening round game, March the 10th. They'll be a 4th seed. And Tyler Ott, the sophomore, in. Braun trying to get to 30.
And think about it, Darren. 25 wins for a team that can't go to the NCAA tournament. That's a heck of a coaching job.
Dan Marty's first year, 15-15. 17-15 this past year, and this year 25-6. They are the highest ranked team in the WAC with regard to RPI, and they certainly will host on campus. The atmosphere will be there in the CIT. Marley and Grand Canyon finishes off a fabulous regular season. They look to lock up that 2 spot. They'll keep an eye later on tonight at how Bakersfield does at home against Seattle. Rich Zavosic, certainly enjoyed calling the game with you. My name is Darren Sutton, and as always, college basketball, you'll catch it right here all the time on the American Sports Network. Grand Canyon wins this one by 7. Don't forget our next upcoming broadcast. Check your local listing. The home of college basketball all over this great land. The American Sports Network. We'll see you soon on campus.